think we got a hold of that. Turn the camera. Little technical difficulties to start with today. All right. Well, good morning. I hope everybody's weekend is off to a good start, or good ending, I guess at this point, considering it's Sunday. And I hope everybody's finding a way to stay busy and maybe get done some of the things that you've been putting off for a while or whatever it may be. But today's going to be a great day. It's nice and cool outside, and I can't wait to get out there. But before that, we got to get out of bed. So it is time to get started. So I have a pillow ready here just in case I need it. And it's really only just in case. But it's nice to have that little extra lift in some of the poses that we'll be going through. So feel free to lie out long on your mat. I have a visitor. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. So lie out long on your mat. Set your pillow aside for now. And just take a nice big stretch. Extend your arms overhead, point your toes. Oh, that feels so good. And then when you're ready, release everything down. Just let your hands come around down by your sides. Maybe you had a lot of thoughts when you woke up. Maybe your thoughts are what woke you up this morning. Or maybe it was this live class. But either way, let's just take a moment here to check in with ourselves. Maybe there's a certain way we want to think today. So maybe we want to be positive or happy or productive. Maybe just begin manifesting that for yourself, creating a little mantra. Today I will be productive. Today I will get out and exercise. Whatever it is in your mind that you're needing a little bit more of today, just tell yourself that's going to happen. Maybe it's even today is going to be a good day. And then just acknowledge the breath. The body. Maybe take a few big, deep breaths and sigh it out of your mouth. Today is going to be a good day. And then on your next inhale, we'll draw the palms of the feet in towards the pelvis. Bring the palms of the feet together. Just letting your knees fall open to the sides. Your hands can rest down by your sides. They can stay on your belly and chest, wherever is comfortable. It might feel good to lift and tuck under your shoulder blades a little bit. Just so we're nice and flat. And breathe. Just allowing our bodies to gently reawaken. If you're feeling a big pull throughout the groin here, we can always take the pillow and prop it up right next to us, giving ourselves a little bit of support. Good, 2 more breaths here. And then being kind to our bodies, it's still early. We'll use our hands and bring our thighs gently back towards each other. Good. From here, you can take your feet a little bit further apart, at least hip distance, and then we're just going to sway our knees from side to side. Nice and easy, as slow as you'd like to go. Feeling free to linger in any areas that may feel a little sticky, extra tight, like, oh, that feels so good. And then back to the other side. Just being kind and gentle this morning wake up. Good. One more time to each side. And then we'll come back to neutral. Good. On your next inhale, we'll hug the right knee in towards the chest, interlacing the fingers in front of the shin. And just give this leg a hug. Hugging it in towards the chest or armpit. Opposite leg can stay bent or go out long onto the mat. Yogi's choice. And breathe. If this gets a little too sticky, feel free to release and come right back in. No worries. Just gently pulling the knee in, finding a slight resistance. And then on your exhale, we'll release the right knee, but interlace the fingers behind the right thigh. And then we're going to press the right heel up towards the ceiling, elongating the leg. And if your leg doesn't go straight and it needs a little bend, just be kind. Let that bend happen. It's quite okay. And we're pressing the hamstring into the hands, and the hands resist. And we're breathing. If you feel your head and shoulders lifting away from the mat, just gently bend into the knee or release the leg a little bit and allow the head and shoulders to come back down. And breathe. Keeping the activation in the leg and hands. Focusing on our breath, awakening our brains as we awaken our bodies. And then exhale, bend the right knee, release the right foot down to the mat or bed. And then on your next inhale, we'll hug the left knee in towards the chest, interlacing the fingers. Once again, feeling free to come into the stretch and release as needed. Maybe one side's a little bit stickier than the other. My left side is always tighter than my right, no matter what. And then also feel free to elongate that right leg if that feels good to you this morning. Good. One more full breath in and out. Good. And then we'll release the left shin, interlace the hands behind the left thigh, and then press the left heel up towards the ceiling. We're pressing that hamstring into the hands, and the hands are gently resisting. Keeping the leg long or keeping a nice bend into it if that's a little bit too much to start with today. If the hands are too much, we can always release and just extend that leg. No worries. Do what's best for your body today, this morning, nice and easy. one more full breath. And we'll gently release. Taking both legs long onto the mat. Maybe take your feet from side to side. Good. And then we'll step the feet back in, just a few inches away from the bottom. No big deal, about hip distance apart. Then we're going to take our hands and we're just going to give ourselves a hug, reaching back towards our shoulder blades. Oh, broadening across the back. Oh, big hug. Maybe tell yourself how happy you are for actually waking up with yoga this morning or getting your practice in so early. Maybe rock side to side, massaging the back a little bit. Oh, it feels good. And then gently release. Good. Next, we're going to walk the feet in just a few inches away from the bottom, hip distance apart. We're going to lift the hips up and take them over to the right side, just a few inches. Then we're going to hug the knees into the chest and gently guide them over to the left side. You notice my right shoulder is coming up here just a little bit, so I'm going to press my triceps into the mat or bed. I'll lift my shoulders and adjust so they're parallel. Left hand's going to rest on top of my right thigh, and my right arm is going to go out long with my gaze to follow those fingertips. And then just breathe here in our twist. Nice and easy. Maybe allowing your knees to come a little bit closer together or more towards the left side with each exhale. But we're not forcing. We're just allowing our bodies to move into the direction they want. You can feel free to keep your eyes closed or open or your gaze softened. 2 more breaths. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Good. And we'll gently release the right thigh. And we'll lift the right and the left will follow, adjusting back to center on the mat. And then we'll walk our feet back in about hip distance apart, a couple of inches away from the bottom. Lift the hips and take them over to the left. Hug the knees in towards the chest and then guide them over to the right. Right hand can rest on top of the left thigh. Make sure those shoulders are parallel to the mat, and then our gaze is over to the left with the left fingertips out in cactus or T formation. And then breathe again. Maybe you come deeper into your twist with your breath as you exhale. Or maybe you don't, and that's okay. Just enjoying this soft and gentle wake up. Maybe even before your feet hit the floor this morning. Or maybe right after you've had your coffee, just like me. Finding a little bit more freedom for our bodies as we prepare for our day. One more full breath. And then we'll gently release the legs. The left leg will lift and the right will follow. Coming back to center on our mat, adjusting our hips as needed. And then from our twist, we'll just hug our knees in towards our chest. Take a hold of the shins or the outside blades of the feet, bringing the palms of the feet wherever we are parallel to the ceiling. And then just let those knees move towards the bed, mat, or armpits. And then feel free to stay here in stillness or find a little freedom in your happy baby and rock side to side. Nice and easy. Coming back to our breath. Finding joy and happiness in our pose. A little freedom of movement or option to stay still. Keeping our head, neck, and shoulders down onto the bed or mat. Finding a little space for our hips. Remember, we always have the option of holding on to the fronts of the shins. Good. 1 or 2 more breaths here. And then exhale, release. Good. The feet all the way back down to the floor. Good. We're going to keep the feet a couple of inches away from the bottom and hip distance apart. We're going to create our little robot hands here. But instead of pressing up into a full bridge pose, we're just going to roll our spines up, starting from the tailbone. So I'll bring the belly button in towards the floor, lift the pelvis nice and slow, pressing all the way until it's just my shoulders and the back of my head pressing into the mat. And then I'll tuck my pelvis once again and roll my spine all the way down to the mat. Feel free to continue at your own pace or follow along with me. Slowly rolling up through the spine and slowly rolling all the way back down. Using the full breath, the full inhale or exhale as you rise. And then the reverse as you lower. Looking something like this. Good. One more time. Rolling all the way up. And rolling all the way back down. Good, and once you've settled all the way back down on your mat, hug your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a big old hug. Maybe rock side to side if that feels good to you. Maybe draw some circles on the ceiling with your knees. Giving yourself a little low back massage in both directions. And then yogi's choice. We can roll to one side and press ourselves up. Or we can keep a hold of the fronts of the shins and begin to create a little momentum and rock all the way up. Good. Now here's an option to use the pillow. If you'd like, you can take the pillow underneath your bottom, especially if you're in a bed, because you tend to sink down in the bed a little bit because it's nice and soft. So if you are in the bed, I suggest propping up on a pillow a little bit. Or if it just feels better to you, you can prop up on a pillow. Remember, we can always fold it over for a little extra lift. And we're just going to place it underneath our bottoms. Yogi's choice. Good, and sitting up nice and cross-legged. One foot in front of the other, nothing strenuous. And then from here, we're just going to walk our hands out long. Nice little forward fold. Pronging the fingertips, letting the head rest. Nice and long through the spine. Remember to breathe. Nice full breaths. Feel free to play with arching and elongating the spine a little bit. A little cat-cow in our seated forward fold. If that feels good to you, remember everything I have to offer here is simply an offering. You get to pick and choose what works and what's best for you and your body. from here, we'll come back to stillness. Nice long spine. And then exhale, reach over to the left. Press that right sit bone down into the bed or mat, getting a big stretch down the right side body. Reaching your fingertips long, grounding through the right sit bone. Continuing to find our full inhale and exhales. And then on your next exhale, we'll gently release back through center and over to the opposite side. Pressing down the left sit bone, finding our stretch in the left side body. Coming back to our breath. Inhaling through the nose and back out through the nose or mouth. Good. One more breath here. And we'll exhale, release our hands back through center. And then walk our hands back up to upright. Good. I'm going to turn sideways just so you can see what I'm doing here. But feel free to stay right where you are. I'm going to sit up nice and tall, maybe either on my pillow or nice and flat here on my mat, elongating my spine. And then I'm going to take my hands behind my back, turning my fingertips away from me, and I'm just going to either prong or press my full palms into the mat and broaden and open up through the chest and collarbones. Maybe lift my gaze, finding a little back bend here. And then exhale, release. Whew, that's a big opening for me. And then pressing the hands once again, broaden across the collarbones, lift the gaze, press in through the hands. And exhale, release. Good. One more time. Prong or press those hands behind you into the bed or mat. Broaden across the collarbones, lift the chest. And then exhale, release. Good. Left hand will reach down, right hand will reach up and over. And exhale, release. Inhale, reach with the opposite hand. And exhale, release. Flowing side to side, as fast or as slow as you'd like. Reaching those top fingertips up and over. Pressing firmly into the mat with the down hand. Continuing to breathe. Using your full inhales and exhales as you trace your fingers across the ceiling. Option to take the gaze underneath the lifted tricep, opening up through the chest. Whew. Good. One more time to each side. And then we'll all meet back at neutral. And sitting up nice and tall, shoulders stacked over the hip bones. We're going to twist from this bottom rib over to the right. So first, just think about moving those ribs in the direction of your right knee. Then we'll prong our fingertips into the bed or mat. And take our gaze over to the right side, or maybe even looking towards over the right shoulder. If that feels good to you, if it cranks too much into your neck, feel free to just look over to the right or anywhere where your neck does not have pain or discomfort. A little stretch is good though. And maybe you go a little bit deeper into your stretch with each exhale. And then on your next exhale, we'll gently release. Coming back to neutral. Grow tall through the spine. Feel your sit bones grounded. Twist from that bottom rib over to the left on an exhale. And then press your fingers into the bed or mat. Looking over to the left side or over that left shoulder. Remembering to come back to the breath. Maybe a little deeper on the exhale. Keeping your sit bones grounded. And then one more full inhale and exhale. And then on your next exhale, we'll gently release, coming back to neutral. Good. And from here, we'll press our hands into the mat, or we'll simply turn our legs to stand off, to come off of the bed and stand onto the floor. Inhale, reach your hands up. Nice, big, full body stretch. Maybe even interlock your thumbs. Oh, it feels good to be up and alive and awake this morning. And then release everything down whenever you're ready. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I hope your day is filled with whatever positivity and fantastic things you can muster up, create, and build for yourself today. I'm just happy to be here and have this time to share with you. So inhale, bring your hands in towards your chest, pressing the palms together. May you all have a wonderful and blessed day. Namaste.